I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you, and today we're going to make a box card using Sailing Home. Right, now I have used one of the dies from the Shark Frenzy, so unfortunately this will be going. I'm not sure if there's any more shape dies coming in the next catalogue like this, but this is great for what I want to do. So first of all, I'm going to ink up my sponge dauber. I've got a piece that measures 4.5 by 1 inch, and I'm just going to ink my sponge dauber up, and I'm just going to completely cover this. Now, I'm not bothered if it's patchy at all, because your sea is patchy. It's never completely the same colour. It goes in and out of colour, so I thought that the sponge dauber would work really well. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to come round here, so it doesn't matter how you do it, just cover your sheet like that. Okay, so we've done that, so it's gone in and out. Now what I'm going to do next is just put this through my die cutting machine. So decide whether I want the top darker or the bottom darker, and I'm just going to place that like that and run it through my die cutting machine. So just pop. I've already done 2. You want 3 of these, so I've already prepared 2, but I just wanted to show you how I did it. So I have done the 3rd one now. Okay, whoops, there we go. Okay, so take that through. Oops, that flew off. Bring that back a minute. Right, now I showed you cutting out the can't think what you call them, banner, cutting out the banner and using the stamp set yesterday. Is it called Diddy Biddy or no, Thoughtful Banners, sorry, it was Thoughtful Banners. So that step no longer exists, so I thought, well, I'll try and look at another happy birthday that is the right size to fit on the banner. Now, there is a brand new stamp set that's in this new catalogue, and it's the Friends Alike Seashells, and this happy birthday is just the right size, but you need to either ink it up and put your happy and then put your birthday at the bottom. So that will work. However, it is very, very tricky because they're not individual words, and you can get some bits of the ink and it not be right. So what I'm showing you is an alternative way. I've already done mine ahead of time, but what I did is I stamped the whole of the greeting, and then I'm going to cut this out. So I'm going to go as close as I can to the actual happy. So I'm going to actually come along and do it all. So we're coming right underneath that happy, and then you're going to go up by your Y and also go close to that, and then go up your, well, actually I'm going to do it in 2. So I'm going to go up the Y there, and then bring this across, going close to the letters at the top. There we go. I then stuck this onto the top. Now, if you cover up the stitching, it doesn't matter because I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm going to cut the birthday out. So I'm going as close as I can to the letters, keeping it as straight as I can. and there we go. And then I would put the birthday on there as well, so that would be glued on there. Now if you don't get on the stitching like that, it'll be better, but I did. So what I decided to do, once I'd glued that on, I put it back into the die. So I put it back into the die and ran that through my die cutting machine again. So let me put it the right way. So I just made sure that it was exactly right at the back and ran that through my die cutting machine, and that gave a lovely effect of almost like when you do the embossing technique one. So I really like that. So that's how I did the happy birthday. Right, so we'll just move those out of the way. Okay, so just pop all those, and I don't want to lose my die, so I'm just going to pop my die away. Right, so what we need is a piece of, let's move them to the one side, we'll need those in a minute, a piece of, I'm using the white cardstock in this case, but you can use any colour you want. It's the A4 length and you want it 4 inches wide. Okay, we are then going to score it. Oh, and let me tell you, this is a Amanda Charlesworths design, in as much as the box is her design. How I've done the waves and things that's my spin on it, but I might even put her link, if I can find it again, in my description box when it's on YouTube, so you can have a look at Amanda's, because she's done a hearts and a post one, which was lovely. She did it 2 years ago, and it's lots of people have done these designs, but this is following her measurements regarding the box size. Okay, so what we need is to put it on the long side, and we're going to score at 2 inches. We're then going to move it along to 5.5, and again score, and then it's going to be, just move my things, it's going to be 7.5, and then 11. Okay, so this is not strengthened, this card, when our normal cardstock is stronger than this. However, because of the mats and layers, I don't need it super strong, because it will be fine. But you could use the strong white cardstock that we do, the thick extra white. Now what I'm going to do is turn it so that the first thick score line, which was the 2-inch one, goes to the top, and put it in at 2 inch. Now what you're going to do is only score from here down to the score line. So what I'm going to do is match my side of my blade up onto my score line, and I'm just going to score that there. So I've only scored from that score line to the end. I am then going to turn it round, put it in again at 2 inches. So I'll make sure I've got that level, and I'm going to score down 1 score line, 2 score lines to the 3rd score line down, and again I'm going to use my side of my blade as a mark. So there, you haven't scored in this area at all, so we just scored the first part and we've scored the last part. Okay, so I'll move that out of my way a minute, and then we can burnish our score lines. There we go, we're going to burnish the score lines, and we're going to cut off the top part. So I'm just will working round. Just let me get my template to make sure I cut on the right part. So I want that to be at the bottom. So I'm going to put the tab, and that's just, let me, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So the tab, the shorter tab, wants to be at your left hand side. So I'm just going to cut down the top score line. Now I'm getting rid of the score line, so I'm cutting down only as far as the first, that score line there. I am then going to put a slight wedge in there and coming in and doing a wedge here as well. So that's coming off there. I am then going to cut down each of the score lines. So we're going to cut down each of those score lines only as far as the middle score line. So I'm cutting down there only as far as the middle score line. So we'll cut down to the middle, and then the end one I'm cutting down again just to that score line. Okay, so you can see that, and we've burnished the side ones, and this is going to bring round and fold there. Now these are just going to fold down. Each of these flaps are going to fold down, but do not crease the back one. Okay, so we've done that so far. Now what I'm going to do is round the corners. So all of these corners I am going to round. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to pop these two in together to make sure that there, see if it will cope with it. Yeah, it copes with it. And then I'm going to put these two together, make sure they're absolutely right, and then move it along and put these two together, put those in there, and then I've got the last one to pop in there. So I've rounded all my corners now on here, and this is going to fit round here like this. Now I'm going to open it up so you've got the inside facing you now. And what I've done ahead of time, we made the DSP yesterday, if you remember. So we made the DSP yesterday. Hi Valerie, hope you're well. And so I've used that DSP, and I have, I'll tell you the measurements. So the actual, you need 2 of the matte layers, and they are 3 7/8 by 3 3/8. So that is that layer. And then for the DSP, you need, that's not right, where I make that 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And round your corners before you mount it onto your DSP. So this is going to be mounted on here. Now I'm just going, I thought I got my bone folder out, I haven't. So I'm just going to go round now and just see if there's any bits I need to flatten. So I'm going round and flattening any of my lines that might be a bit rough. So I'm going to make sure they're all okay, and on the other side anything that needs flattening, that's fine. Okay, so again we've got our tab to our left hand side that's going to go round like that. So I've got my back piece here, and I've just told you the size, and as I say, you need 2 of these because one will be for this internal piece that you want, and then the other ones will be for the outside, for the sentiment that you're going to put on the back. So I'm just making sure I've got even increments all the way round, and these flaps, they are going to go down the other way, so I'm going to face them towards me. I'm also going to just rub down that score line again to get rid of it. And so you want to be aware, so if you stand it up and flap it down to see which way you want your squares to go. Now you want 2 of these where you're going to round the corner, and that is the side ones, let's see, are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. So your square would be 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. Then don't forget I've rounded the corner. Then the DSP on top of that will be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you need 2 of these to round the corner. Okay, so got those, and I'm going to make sure which way I want it. So I'm wanting it upside down really there, so I'm just going to make sure that I've got that in there. So thank you very much. It lends itself this beautifully to making this card. I just thought about it and I thought, yeah, that DSP is going to look great on the card like this. So I really like it myself. So I'm really into making DSP. That's why I've done a competition on it. I just because obviously this set, when it first came out, it had DSP that you could buy, but then what happens, it's same as this brand new set that's in the catalogue at the moment. You can get the DSP, but it's going forward into the annual catalogue with no DSP. Now sometimes I wish that they kept the DSP on, if they're keeping the stamp set on. And the funny thing is, the first time ever that I've seen this actually happen is the Tasteful Touches. The DSP is actually going through on that one. It is a male orientated one, and it's, as I say, that's the first time ever I've seen a DSP go through. Right, I will just put this in its position, and then I will tell you the measurements for this one. So the front flap is 1 7/8 by 3 3/8. So that is the blue layer, which is called Misty Moonlight, and the DSP for that is 1 3/4 by 2 7/8. So this so far is going to come round like this, and these flaps will be down like that and like that. Okay, so that's looking great so far, but we want the bottom parts to be filled in, so I'm going to put those up. And I can put my back layer on now. This measures exactly the same as I told you with the front layer. So we've got that one there, so that's going to go on. I'm not going to put its mat on. I'm going to stamp that before I put on that. So I'm just going to do the back part there. And then we've got the bottom side part, so decide which way round you want your DSP. These are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and then that'll be 1 3/4 your DSP, and you don't round these, and you want 2 of these. So just decide which way you want your pattern to go, and that's the beauty of the DSP. When you do it multi-directional and you've cut it up, you can make a decision, particularly when it's square, to which way you want things to go. So that one I think I'll have that way as well. So this is exactly the same size again, and that's going to go on the back there. So get Just make sure you've got equal increments all the way around. And then we've got this front piece now, and that measured exactly the same really as the one that we've just rounded the corners on. I think I'm going to have that showing like that. So it's 1 7/8 by what was it, 3 2/8. That's it. So that's going on there. So we've got our layers nicely put on there, so that's looking good so far. So now I think I'll leave my mat at the back. I'll leave that and we'll do that at the very end. But what I've done with these is I've deliberately made them bigger than what we need them to be, because I want to be able to stagger my waves. So this was the idea, that I would stagger my waves. Now I'm just going to see if this will work, because obviously I've not pre-done it. So we do need the wave to be, let's put it the other way round. We do need our wave to be 4 inches long. Yes, I think that'll work there. So I'm chopping this at 4 inches. So that's going to be 4 inches there, and I'm going to try and get that. So I'll chop that side down, hopefully. If I chop that off there at 4 inches, that might work. So we'll do that. I'm going to take it down to my line. I love this little guillotine trimmer. It's really, really good. Stays sharp, so that's brilliant. And let's see, can't have that, so I want it about, so I want it in between. Whether it's going to work out for me, I think I might go like that. So I'm going to chop that at 4 inch. I'll take that 4 inch on this side there. So just use my line again there. Get that correct, and there's my 4 inches. There we go. So now I'm going to bring back in my scorer, because I need to score these at just 1/4 of an inch on either side. So I'm going to put the flat edge up against there, and then just do those 1/4 of an inch. Now this will have to be this side, because I want to be able to keep it against the flat edge. Okay, now because this is just going to be a tab, I'm just, well, I'll see how that goes. That might work, it might not. So again, I'm going to score each side at 1/4 of an inch, and so bring that there. That's going to be 1/4 of an inch. So you could cut yourself some waves if you don't have a die that's like that, or you could use a circle punch to achieve this. So that's another way I've just thought that you could achieve this, by using circle punch. So that probably is roughly about a 1 inch circle punch. So you could create some waves if you haven't got that with a circle punch. Right, I'm going to have a drink today. There we go. So I'm just going to bend those in to score those lines like this, and like this, and like that. Okay, now I'm going to get my strong tape. Now I did have some very narrow, which would be absolutely perfect, because I think this might just be a little too thick for this. Let's see. I think that I might just get away with it, so we'll try. Oh yeah, I am. So that's it there. So swap my scissors. So I've just got away with this. This is 6mm tape. This is wide. So I'm just getting, it's just under 1/4 inch, so I'm doing all right with that. Okay, now let me just make sure I've got this right. So these are going to fit. So it's going to be on that one, and that one will come over. That's it. So that will be there. So that can be there. I think that needs to fold under there. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I've got that now. Let's put this tape on. So you can do just one if you wanted, you can do 2, or you can do 3. As you can see, I've chosen 3, so to create my scene. So I'm putting this really right up against that score line, and then cutting it off level with it. So we'll see how it goes. There we go. I loved your little heart box that you did. The one that did you use my measurements? Was it my measurements, Valerie, that you used, or did you make a different size to mine? Because once you know the sizing of how to do it, it's very easy to do different sizes. So you can do different ones. So what size did you make? Did you go for the 6x6 that I did, the paper? And made it awkward for myself there. Okay, so let's see if I can get this right now, because I've never done this before. Right, so let's see what positioning we need. So which is the back one, which is the front one. So let's just make sure they're all, yeah, that's fine. So that can be the back one. So how I want it, it's going to go on there, and bring it forward. I want to do it actually level, so I might have to just cut this off. So I'm just going to see whereabouts I want to cut that equal with the wave there. Right, now I've done it on that one, I can copy the same. So I'm just going to take the tips off that went above that wave. So I'm just going to take those off. That's it, and it's okay. I'm just bringing that one and cut those tips off. There we go. That's it. Now I'm just going to make sure that I've got this well burnished down. There we go. I think I've got all those, so that's well burnished down. Oh, you use 3 inches, brilliant. It's easy as long as you do the multiples of 3. It's easy to work out. I'm just doing the 1/16 bigger, adding your 1/2 inches to the side, it's quite easy to work out. Now I've mixed all these up again, I'll just have to go back through and make sure you see, I've messed them up. That needs going at the back. That can go in the middle. Yeah, and that can go outside. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off one side and I'm going to bend it and put it right in the corner. I'm hoping I'm getting this right in the corner just there. So when this comes across, that will pick it up and that will be on there like that. So that will go on the back. Then I'm going to leave, which one is it now? I think that one. Then I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap, as long as I put it in the same lines. Let's just burnish that down a little bit more. On my track, that's it. So I'm going to keep that and I'm going to take it in probably the middle there. So hopefully that's right. So I've done that a bit wonky. Will it come up? No, it won't, so we'll leave that. Okay, I'll show you if you're not getting this. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to pull it up and show you so you can see what I've done. And I'm going to pop that, oops, out there, something like that. Okay, so what I've done, not necessarily done them equal distances either. I've bent this one over and this one has gone along the score line like that. So I've bent that out of the way. Then the second one, I've actually, you bend under the side, but make sure it goes equal with that. Then I've put this one a little bit further forward, and again, make sure it goes under there. Now, what we're going to do now is that keep them level. So we're going to make sure they're all level, and we're going to take off each of these. That's it. And then all I'm going to do is bend over this side. So just make sure they're level, bend over that side, give them a good press. And then when you open them up, you should have your seat all in place. Now we should have brought the back one actually a bit further forward, but that's okay. And now that tab is a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut this tab a lot smaller now, because when I put this in here I want it to go behind there. That works now. So I've cut that tab down a little bit smaller. Now I could have put this back one a little bit further forward and taken these two a little bit further back, but I'm happy with that. That's fine. In fact, I could get another one in there in the middle, so don't know whether I'll choose to do that or not at a later date. I might not need that. I'm wondering if I will be able to peel this off and take it a little bit further forward. It would be the first one, wouldn't it? So let's see if I can gently, oh, it's ripping my card. Let me see if I can pull this out and take it a little bit further forward. Might have got away with it, hopefully. So don't stick it down that edge, stick it further forward. So you can actually stick them in after you have, I'm just going to put another bit of tear and tape on that because it's lost some of its sticky with me taking it off. So I'm going to make sure it's going to stick, so I'm going to put another added tear and tape on there, and the same with the other side, just to make sure that that is definitely going to stick. Right, so you can do this after when you put your box together. It's easier to do it when it's flat though. Now, but sometimes you can see better when you have got the box erect to where you want things. So I'm going to put those back in there, and I'm going to try. I'm going to bend that so that it's I think something like that. And how far I've got that, so that's there. Let's try and don't want that sticking down at a minute. Bend that back, keep that level. There, I've done it. Okay, so what I would suggest is that if you can see now, come away from that score line by about 1/4 of an inch or just a bit more, and that will be right then now. So I'm happy that that's got my waves better on there. So now I'm going to put some of my strong adhesive on the edge here, right up against the score line. There we go, and cut that off. And I'll just always like to do a little bit of my wet glue when I've got an edge, bit of edge free. So I'll just take that off, and then gonna go down there just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it was a good save that. Ooh, right, so now I'm gonna just, like when you're making a box, I'm just gonna marry those corners together so that when it folds flat it will be like that, and then when it's open it's like that, and you've got, it will fold either way, and there we've got the waves going like that. Okay, so now for our assembling of our bits and pieces. So I have already, because I've started to collect a box full of my bits and bobs, I've already got some yachts already done, so I'm actually going to see, do I want them up, do I want them in front, or do I want them behind the waves? I think I'm going to go for behind the waves on these. So what shall I start? Shall I start the one? So I've cut out a load ahead of time. I think I am. This is the wrong perspective to go from big to little, but that's the way I'm going to go. So I'm just going to glue some on the back there and just press this in place, because this is going up and down on the waves. So I've got one there. I think I might stick another one in front of the waves this time, so this can go in front of the waves. Okay, that's okay. Oops, and all together. Okay, so I'm going to look in front of the waves, and I've got some little ones, so this one can go in front of the waves, down there a bit, and this one can go right in the front, but this can go in front of the waves on this side. Oops, that's not good. Come back. That's still, hold it. Oh, they're all falling down. Daisy. There we go. Where's that going? Did I put, yes, put it on the front. Oh. That's it. They're adhering now. Okay, so I've got my boats going off there, and I'm going to put my happy birthday. I think I'll pop that up on dimensionals, and that can go in my back corner. And I want some mini. Perfect. So I'm going to put some mini dimensionals on this one because it's only a little banner. So get some, and we'll have one for the middle. Pull off the backs. Hands off that one. So I'm just gonna go to this side. So I'm going to put it at an angle. Happy birthday. Yeah. And then I've got some rope. Might stick a bit of rope. Shall I stick, or shall I go for sticking that? I think so. Now I had trouble. I need a little tiny bit, so I think I cut the little tiny bits, so I'll do that again for the rope to get a little bit of dimension on it. I want a very slim little piece. That can go on there. I'm going to see if I can get another little slim piece. And stick that over the top there. That's it. And then peel those off at the back. And have that going off there like that. I'll do I want any of my seaweedy? No, I don't think I do. I'm going to leave that off. I've got an anchor, but I'm going to go for, I think we'll go for the elm wheel on that one, and I'm not going to put that up on dimensional. That can be stuck on there flat, so I'll have to hold it on for a second or two. So it fights it a little bit. So right, now I like that, but I don't know whether to go for I'm just thinking about whether to put, ooh, sorry, that's, I've knocked my magnet. I don't know whether to actually go and put a sail in the direction of your dreams. I don't know whether to put that there. It's a bit hard to decide. Oh, yeah. Yeah, anyone that sails, it'd be a great one for. I'm just thinking about my bottom one though. Or shall I just put my my actual, and put these on. Put that and that on there. Yeah, I think I'll go for that. So I've got to glue these. Oh, wonder whether it'll work with a little tiny bit of foam adhesive. So I'm going to go for a little tiny, oh, nearly used my wrong scissors. No, let's just take a little bit of that and put that down the back of here, so that goes, lifting it up there, so that can go on there, and then this piece will go somewhere I want over there. And do we do a glue dot to hold it in place, as it's going to be a nightmare to try and glue that now. I'll just get my little mini glue dots, so I'll use my little pokey tool and just take that, put it to the back of this, because it just fits. These are tiny glue. Oops, that was some good, wasn't it? Get on there. Sit, and then I'll fetch that off the back, stick it in a bit, pop that on there, and I'm just going, I've got tiny, so, oh, I've got tinier than that, I think. Where have you gone? Can't see them. I did have some tiny jewels, and I seem to have misplaced it, so I'll just go for sticking one of those in there. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that down flat. Okay, now shall I stick to the side, or shall I stick to the middle? So happy birthday, what we got? So wishing you the very best. No, I'm going to stick it in the middle, roughly in the middle. There, that'll do. Yeah. Okay. So that is the front of the card. So that's how it looks there. And now we're going to do the back. So just put my pin in my glue a minute. I didn't lose any of my boats, did I? I seem to have got an extra boat out here, so just pop that back out of the way. Move those for me. And now I'll bring in my card. I've already rounded the ends. Oh, it's they're spongy, these, so I don't need that. Now, which one do I choose? Let hope be your anchor through life storms, or set sail in the direction of your dreams? It's got to be set sail in the direction of your dreams, because I've got so many boats on there, haven't I? So I'm going to have to do that. Right, gonna go for that. Bring in that. I'm gonna just peel off my seaside one. My friends like seashells, and put that back on here. I'll put it on. Okay, so we've got that, and we'll bring in our Misty Moonlight. Make sure I've got that well linked up. I think so. Yeah, I think that's fine, and pop that in the middle-ish. There we go. Hold that on, bring that off, lovely. Move that out of the way for the moment. And then I'm going to go back to what I did the other day, where I got my lighthouse. And I'm going to clean this up, so just bear with while I clean up my stamp. I need a bit more of my stamping mist, so used it, so let's just get a little bit of that on so I can clean up my stamp. There we go. So let's get rid of that and then bring in my lighthouse. So that's it, got that. Now I'm going to go for getting the same colour as the DSP. So I use Smoky Slate. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to do exactly what I did the other day when I did the Smoky Slate. Pick it up well. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go right over the top with the lighthouse, and I've hidden it underneath. There we go. So like that, that's good. Just clean my stamp up. All my stamping mist is still wet. Clean up that, and then put this back together. Okay, that's it, and then that can go on the back, just in case that's wet. I'm just going to move that out of the way, put that die back in there. Let's fold it flat so that I can position this now on the back. There we go. That's it. Yeah, I love doing that. I did it the other day on the other one that I made, I think, with the DSP, did I? Yeah, I did it the other day on this one, and did the same. So this time I've used the Misty Moonlight as a background colour. So making your own DSP, and there's 2 cards that can be made out of it. It's very hard for you to see the full effect of it, but that was card that I made the other day. So that is 3 that I've made now, using the this one I did the other day as well. So using the same stamp sets, you can create some lovely mail cards with this stamp set. It's really, really great. Love it. Right, thank you very much. I appreciate that you've stopped by, and if you're on my YouTube channel, please subscribe and press the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my uploads. I have got a competition running currently, ends on the 4th of May, to make your own DSP and make a project from it. So I'd love you to enter. The details are on my business page and also my group page. So I have put the details on other videos, so if you look in the description of other videos, it will take you straight to the competition page. So hope you'll enter to win the stamping right markers. So if you see the products and you haven't got a demonstration, you'd like to shop with me, please get in touch with me and I will do a new hostess code. I am trying to hang on till the 1st of May, but if you wish to shop now, then please get in touch and I will do a new hostess code straight away for you. Thank you very much. As I say, do appreciate that you've popped by, and I will be back tomorrow with more crafty goodness. Bye.